Boom! What's up, y'all? Hopefully you, your family and friends are happy and healthy today. I am at the VA Medical Center this afternoon. This is my first appointment out of 15 for my PTSD evaluation. I am at the Bay Pines Medical Clinic, and been quite the experience, y'all. Quite the experience. I got today part of the first day of the eval. They do a thing called your suicide preventional safety plan, and I ask you a series of questions. Again, y'all, this is going to be a very, very long gated experience for me. This is going to be a long chapter. This is going to take me about 18 months, y'all, just to do it right, and I'll get into that afterwards. Anyways, for my first PTSD eval, they have something that they call the Suicide Preventional Safety Plan, and they ask you a series of questions, and you got to be honest. And basically, it's a 3-step program. So it's a safety plan, and it says, so if you're feeling like it's a dark day, you know, if you're just super sad, if you have anxiety, if you just want to give up, and you have whatever it is that triggers you, for it's like you don't want to exist anymore, you just don't want to be on planet Earth anymore, and you're super down, this is what this is for. It's a safety plan, a suicide preventional safety plan. They have the Veterans Crisis Line. If any of you all are veterans and you're having any of those feelings that I just mentioned, you can call 1-800-273-8255 and you press 1. Now, the safety plan is 3 steps. The first step, these are triggers, risk factors, and warning signs for me. This is custom built for me if I'm feeling down. So what if I was feeling down? I would ninja flip this out of my pocket, and then boom, it's right here. So it says, how will you know when you're in crisis and that the safety plan should be used? What are your red flags? Well, here's a few of mine. First one is money. I don't want to think about money anymore. I don't want to play the hustle game anymore. I don't want anybody to pay me $1 out of service. Even if I built them a house, if I built them a logo, if I did yard work, whatever, I don't want anybody to pay me any money. I want to serve others. I want to serve humankind, all humans. I want to serve them and bless them, per se, with whatever knowledge that I can, and expect nothing in return. Because money was my trigger. I chased money, and I made a lot of money, but it just fueled my addictions. And I just think the whole rigmarole, the whole thought, the whole process of money is so that we can pay taxes, and so that the government and the higher ups can control. It's all about money. And so when I start thinking about money, I don't have any money, and you need money. We've got a military base here. I went to the canteen, which is basically the kitchen or the galley, and it was all processed food. It was all hot dogs. It was all fried chicken. It was all breads. It was all soda pop. It was all sugar sweets, right? But we spend trillions and trillions of dollars all around the world to take their resources, their oil, the materials for the glasses for the phones. So we have this huge military industrial complex, but we can't feed the veterans real food, enlightening food that will make you feel better, make you poop better, make you just make you feel better, make your body, your meat vehicle healthier. There's people in there that just got out of surgery and they're eating fried chicken, drinking soda. Makes no sense to me. So you have to have money to eat. You definitely have to have money to eat healthy food, unless you grow your own, unless you have your own homestead, you collect your own rainwater, you collect your own, the free sun from solar power. And so all of it is, so basically it's enslavement of human beings to chase money, so you can have insurance, so you can pay for entertainment, so you can pay for food. It's just a giant game. And so now when I think about money, boom, I'm just like, dude, you're out of the money game. You're not playing any money. I don't want to think about money. So that's one trigger. When I'm thinking that, I'm like, dude, it's just a trigger. It's existent. It exists in what the society norms are, what this reality that we play in. We have to have money. But when I start thinking about that, I have to understand it's just a trigger. Number 2, having too many responsibilities. Why do you think people are stressed out? Why do you think people are eating? Why do you think people are overweight? Because they're overeating, because they're stressed out. People are working 2-3 jobs, right? 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week. Why? For money, right? But yeah, we have these trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. We have this homeless epidemic. We have this drug epidemic. There are players in play. There are human beings in play that don't want society to be healthy. They don't want society to be enlightened. They don't want you to have, peace. Once there's peace, there is no money made. Once you're healthy, there is no money made. You don't need something cut out. You don't need insurance. You don't need a deductible. You don't need prescription drugs. It's all money. It's all money. So when you have too many responsibilities, you're too stressed out, you're chasing around. I got to pay the electric bill. I got to do this. Oh, I'm, $70,000 debt in student loan, high interest rates. It's all money. So when I feel that there's too many responsibilities, I have to understand it's just a trigger. 3, increased anxiety. What creates anxiety for me? Those two things that I mentioned. I am an introvert. I've had some life experience, some events, some trauma early on as a young child and my preteens and as a young man that has made me who I am today. And I have forgiven those events. I haven't forgotten those events, but they have made me who I am today. And I am an introvert. I do have anxiety. I have social anxiety. If I'm around what I perceive as a healthy environment. There's a lot of environments out there that are built purposely not to be healthy, And so that's why I say build those healthy boundaries as high as possible. You're gonna lose loved ones, you're gonna lose family, you're gonna lose friends, people are gonna judge you. But until you build those healthy boundaries, you're not gonna know who you really are. You're not gonna know what it is that you want to create. You're not going to know how powerful that self-love that you have inside of you really is. So put yourself in healthy environments so you can eliminate that anxiety. I don't think I'll ever get rid of anxiety, but I tell you what, I'm not going to have the VA medicate the shit out of me so I become numb. I'm not going to chase and manipulate money and play the money game so I medicate myself with sex, with gambling, for sports entertainment, so I can watch the news and get addicted to mainstream media, so you can watch two sides just fight because they can't have peace. They want two sides to fight with their ideologies. Numb myself with alcohol. I'm not doing any of that. Instead, I'm doing the complete opposite. I've gotten rid of all of those things for the last 3 years. And now I'm really taking a step into this, and they make it purposely extremely hard to go through this process. A lot of veterans, add on top of that of being as a homeless vet, on top of that, I'm homeless. So now resources, giving up, it's very difficult to keep, healthy environments, so I threw myself into unhealthy environments, y'all. Do you know veterans? Do you know the homeless? It's rampant with mental disorders. It's rampant with that drug epidemic, all the addictions from crack to prostitution. Your safety is a concern. Where you're going to get your next meal, where you're going to sleep. That's what I've been dealing with. That's where I'm at. So I'm definitely not playing it safe. I'm confident that I'm not going to ninja flip into a casino. I'm confident that I'm not going to get on Tinder and go have sex with women just to heal myself, when really you're being toxic in other people's lives because you want to comfort yourself through sex to make yourself better. And maybe you might not even like this person and might not even love this person, but you're doing that to try to put a Band-Aid on the real issue. And so I feel like I'll always have anxiety, but I have to face that anxiety. I have to put myself in situations where I feel anxiety the most, and I have to do it in a sober way. I have to do it in a confident way, and I have to do it when I'm coming from the heart. I have to be doing it for the right reasons. And so I'm dealing with anxiety, Being in a chaotic environment is another thing. That's number 4. Feeling worthless and like a failure. When you're not living up to society's norms, living up to the Smiths, You know, if you didn't graduate college, you know, if you didn't become a doctor, you know, if your marriage wasn't successful, if your relationship wasn't successful, if you have to ask for help from family and friends, you know, if you have you don't have the latest, you know, computer, the latest phone, the latest car, you know, if you're using resources or other stuff out there that the government provides, you're labeled maybe as weak, you're labeled maybe as you're insufficient, you lack whatever it is that people can label you. And so there's a lot of feeling of worthlessness and failure, especially with what I've been trying to do. I've been very successful. A lot of people thought I lived a really good life, but I was dying inside. Now I get judged because of my mohawk. Now people think I'm on drugs. It's so funny, it's not funny. People think I am on drugs and I'm 3 years sober, but for a decade, 2 decades, on drugs, always an alcoholic. Addicted to women, addicted to sex, addicted to MDMA, to ecstasy, addicted to sports gambling, addicted to gambling in general. But yet I had my stuff together. It looked like I had my stuff together. Why did it look like that? Because I had money to build safety walls around me so I didn't have to face what's really going on inside. I didn't have the money to build me a little house, or I had the money to build these little barriers, you know, so I didn't have to face people. I couldn't get called out. I couldn't show my true flavors because I probably would get judged, or I did get judged from my friends and families. So you kind of, and a lot of the times, or most of the time, in my opinion, money makes you weak. I think money makes you weak. Money makes you weak and money makes you soft. Because you know what? You can't buy self-love. You know, you can't buy happiness. You might think you can. You might be able to buy a car, it might make you happy for a little bit, might be able to buy some friends, buy some status in society, might make you happy, and you might be drinking yourself to death in a corner, but not telling anybody. You might be addicted to porn, masturbating all day, every day, but are you really facing what's going on? Are you tearing those layers away? Are you being vulnerable? Are you getting rid of the ego? Are you facing your feels so you can heal it? I wasn't, and now I am, and it's even more difficult. Society doesn't want people to heal. Society wants you sick, so society can keep control over you and can keep charging you so you can play the money game. And the more you think about it and the more awake that you become, you even want to check out even more. You're like, what is this game? I want a new game. That's why people don't want peace. That's why people go to Kauai and become hippies and live off the land, because they don't want to play this game. All of this is a made-up facade by people that want control over you. You don't have your personal sovereignty. That's what I'm aiming for. That's what I will achieve. I don't have a logo here. Nobody owns me. No religion, no politician, no government owns me. Nobody owns me. I have beautiful flavors. I am a very smart, intellectual human being. I have my faults. I am facing those. But I will refuse to play a game that I already see what's going on. It's crazy. It's crazy how much sports entertainment numbs people. It numbs people on the weekend so you don't pay attention to what's going on. And then when you do pay attention to the politics and the wars and the homeless epidemic and the drug epidemic and millions and millions of humans that are starving all around the world, you don't think about that because it's not directly affecting you. Number 3, social contacts that may distract you from a crisis. I put my online support group, which is all of you right here. I got 15 people in here. There's 50,000 rock and rad stars. These algorithms suck. Facebook sucks. Social media sucks. Social media is now in on it. They're in on it. The money. They want the money, you know? All the censorship, y'all. All the censorship that's going on. Now social media, the big companies, Amazon, Google, Facebook, they all rule the world. And this is why this is my second account. If you say something that's enlightening, or maybe a different truth in this paradigm that we have now, this fake facade of government and control, they don't like to hear that. Why? Because they can't have big military contracts. The AI that's going on. Politicians can still pay for false ads on Facebook. You can't do it on Twitter. But this Facebook group in the last 3 years has helped me because of my anxiety and the trauma that I've had. So now I'm reaching out one-on-one counseling from professionals, experts, doctors, one-on-one with stories that I haven't been able to tell online, even though this online group has been one of the most important tools that I have had access to, that I created and had a lot of help creating, because when I decided to become celibate, I decided to tell my story. My daughter inspired me, to show my true flavors and do comic stuff and just whatever is on my mind. Sometimes it's mischievous. Sometimes my flavor might, rub you raw. Maybe it might be too raw for you, but I can deal with the judgment from afar, even though I've had a lot of stalkers. A lot of stuff has screwed up my life because of this. Don't have a relationship with my family members. I lost a lot of friends, but I have been inspired, and I have come to realize that there's so many people that are in pain and so many people that are hurting that don't have an outlet because they feel that they would be criticized, that they would be judged, they would be ostracized from their family, their friends, their little town they live in, their coworker, their boss, their fellow employees. And so when you all make posts, when you all go live, I'm like, boom, that's what's up. So I can learn from your personal experience. You all inspire me through your inspired living. And so that's right here. I have my online support group is the number one tool that I have. The second one, Pinilla's Trail. I love riding Pinilla's Trail because I let loose. I get the fresh air, the sunlight. I have my peace there. Behind the library, there's a park over there where I can get my peace. The sunlight, I can take my shoes off. I can't get naked. That's the next thing, y'all. This is gonna be an 18-month process. Again, this is the most difficult thing I've ever had to do in my life. A lot of people don't do this because of the ego, because of being judged. I've had to eat a huge dose of humble pie. I'm not physically the strongest I've ever been just because of my situation. I'm not mentally the strongest that I've ever been. The most physically and mental, the best version of myself is when I was in North Dakota, my first 6 months of being sober and celibate, when I had my peace and I really harvested that self-love. And that's when I started this group. But I think this is the only way for me to do this. I don't want any easy outs. I am asking for help, but I'm doing it in a real way. No facade, no lies. Layer after layer after layer, I am going to get this poison out, because you cannot help others in a true, authentic way until you can help yourself and you're your best version. So, this suicide prevention safety plan is a tool now that I have that I can ninja flip in my pocket. So if I'm feeling down, I'll be like, and I can just follow those steps. I could rap and rap and rap. I want to try to go live. Again, I don't have any privacy right now, y'all. My end goal is to get 1 acre, 2 acres, 3 acres of land, nourish it, love it, harvest it, have my peace and quiet, and serve others. And that's it. That's it. And I think every human being should have that opportunity. We were born on this planet. You can talk about religion. You could talk about politics. What if it doesn't even exist? It's all control. It's all control. It's all control. And it all creates this disease that we have. Look at the obesity epidemic. Look at the stuff that we're eating. Look at the stuff that we're taking in our eyeballs and our ears. It's poison. It's all poison. And so if and when I get to this upper echelon, this upper chapter in my life where I am healing myself at an optimal next level rate, and I do have the opportunity for my peace and silence in my own land, my own tiny home, maybe a little van, I will be my best version. I will be the best friend that I can be, the best partner that I can be, the best father that I can be, and then I can really make a difference in this world. But I've got to go through this. I've got to go through this. Money won't solve it. Me hustling, me sharing my passions, my talents, my techniques, my loves, my flavors to make money doesn't solve it. It keeps the constant pain. It keeps the constant cycle of what I just explained, and I'm not doing that anymore. So if you are down, if you have a black cloud over you, if you wake up and you don't want to wake up anymore, if you're drinking yourself to death, if you're eating yourself to death, try to put together a suicide prevention plan. You don't even have to use that word, just something, what are your triggers? What can you do to not hopefully eliminate those triggers, but lessen the blow of those triggers? And then how do you execute that step 2 and get to step 3 and do it on a consistent basis? Thank you all for joining me today. 2 oranges, some dates, and a delicious raspberry living probiotic shots, y'all. That's what I got going into my body. I love every single one of you so very much. I appreciate all of you that have helped me through this time. I have a lot more healing to do. This is going to be a lot harder than what I thought. But this is the only way. It's the only way. It's the only way that I become the best person and the best father to my daughter. It's the only way. I don't want an easy out. I don't want a facade. I don't want all that crapola. I don't want that caca. I don't want that fake caca. I'm keeping it raw and I'm staying rad. Thank you all so much for joining me. I love you. Bye.